This is Charter Local Edition on the Central Coast. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are joined by Ed Eby. He is a director with the Nipomo Community Services District in South San Luis Obispo County. Sir, I'm rarely rendered speechless, but I am in this instance. When I look at water savings, Nipomo was given a 28% target, and your total overall savings almost 33%, and in fact, in December, you were closer to a 38% savings. How did you do it, sir?
We have tremendous customers. We put out the call about a year ago and said, look, we've got a water problem. Please help us cut back on your water consumption. This was before the governor's mandate to cut back by 28%.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. And our customers cut back even before then. But then when the 28% mandate came out, our customers cut even more.
And let's consider 28% is one of the highest targets of all. I mean, they range from sort of 4%, but 8% to 36%. Mm-hmm. So you really were given a tall order.
Yes.
Do you have much ag in your CSD?
We don't have any ag customers in the CSD.
Okay.
The biggest customers we have is the park where they water
That's
the
a big
lawn,
customer.
and then the high school where they have the football fields.
That's a big customer. So what did they let the grounds go green or brown? Or
they just are more efficient in their watering. They found that you don't have to water as many every day of the week. You can do it every other day, or you can cut back and use more efficient sprinklers.
Well, let me ask you though, the numbers we just read were from December. January was wet. Mm-hmm. It was a very wet month, amen. The question is, are your customers, are Californians in general, still conserving at the rate that they had, given that El Nino's pack in a bit of a punch?
Mm-hmm. Well, we are using less water than we have in the past. Our peak months are in the summer. That's when most of the irrigation takes place. And that's where most of our reduction in water consumption was. It was in the summer months. Mm-hmm. It came down tremendously.
But look, in December, a winter month, you saved 38%. That's a huge number.
That's because the savings people have put in are permanent. I mean, like high efficiency washing machines that very many people are buying, maybe 10 or 20 of those a month.
And let me ask you about that, because I learned something over the last year. Turf was becoming very popular, artificial turf, and many water districts and wholesalers were giving huge rebates for putting in artificial turf. But then I learned artificial turf is fine, but the real savings come from these appliances that you just described. What's been the experience at Nipomo?
Well, we give rebates on the high efficiency washing machines, and we've been giving about 10 of those a month. So we've got about 10 customers a month that are buying those. I just bought one.
Oh, really?
And my previous washing machine used 23 gallons of wash. The current one uses 2 or 3 gallons per wash.
That's huge.
So, and that's permanent. That's summer and winter.
What about rain barrels? Are you looking at giving out rain barrels, rebates for rain barrels?
I'm not a big proponent of that because
Why?
I don't think it saves that much, because the water that would have come into the rain barrel goes into the ground. It goes into the ground anyway, and that's our main source of water is groundwater. It's going there anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about groundwater, because for so many years, Nipomo was exclusively reliant on groundwater. Tell us how you managed to survive through this drought before your supplemental water project went online, which was quite recently.
Well, our water table was really dropping precipitously. That's why we alerted our customers that they needed to cut back. But as of June of last year, we started receiving supplemental water by pipeline.
But let me ask you though, prior to that, you were exclusively reliant on groundwater. Nipomo is also near the coast. And so as your water table's dropping, there's a risk of seawater intrusion. Not subsidence like in the Central Valley, but seawater intrusion. If that happens, the groundwater is not usable. Were you at risk? Were you seeing that?
That's what we were worried about. I mean, when our wells get below sea level, and the ocean stays at sea level because that's what it is.
That's
water runs downhill, and it runs into where our well fields are.
And
we didn't reach that point, but we're close.
You were close.
In the last 3 or 4 years, our water level in our wells has dropped about 50%.
Oof. Now, what about lately? Do you know, since the rains? Do you have a sense yet, or we don't have it monitored?
We read the water what you have to do is you have to read all the wells at the same time.
I see.
And that happens twice a year.
So you're not there yet.
We're not there yet, but in April we will get readings a year.
So let's talk about the good news, which is your supplemental water project online since last summer.
Since last June, when we started the pipeline, started the water in the pipeline, we have pumped 210, we're on the way to pumping 210 million gallons of water through that pipeline. That's 210 million gallons that we don't have to pump out of the ground to deplete our aquifer.
From where are you getting the water?
The city of Santa Maria.
How kind of them.
We're their biggest customer.
How did this happen?
Well, Santa Maria, it turns out, has access to 50,000 acre feet per year. They're only using 10,000.
Oh my.
So they had plenty
left over. Is it from Lopez, or where are they getting it?
No, they get it from part of it from their groundwater, and part of it comes to state water pipeline.
So they needed to sell the water or they'd lose it.
Yes.
And so they're selling it to Nipomo.
Exactly.
And it's been cost efficient?
It has been for us. I mean, it costs more than
groundwater?
Pumping groundwater, but the cost of seawater intrusion, it's unfathomable.
And what we've learned through this crisis, sir, as I understand it, is that it's important to diversify one's water portfolio.
Exactly.
And so you had zero diversification.
Zero diversification.
Now at least you have two sources.
Yes. At the rate we're going, when our supplemental water pipeline is built out completely, we'll be using 3,000 acre feet per year. That's 1 billion gallons a year that will be coming into there that we don't have to pump from our groundwater. And it's possible that there will be certain times of the year when we don't pump any groundwater, will be all supplemental water.
It's fantastic.
In the summer, when those demands go up, we'll probably be using some groundwater.
I want to ask you about a completely different matter. It's a matter in which government nerds like myself enjoy, and it deals with an organization, an entity called the Local Agency Formation Commission, or LAFCO.
Yes.
LAFCO, I remember when I was a reporter in Orange County, California, there were a few homes on the LA County, Orange County border that literally were in both counties. Somehow the line drawing didn't go so well. So those homes were receiving 2 property tax bills. That's a LAFCO issue.
Yes.
You're looking to join the LAFCO board for the second time. Tell us all about it.
Yes, my board has nominated me for the special district position on LAFCO. Well, there's an election coming up, and my board has nominated me for that. LAFCO, as you mentioned, does things like annexations, formations of district, like a water district. They even do de-annexations, which is called a detachment. And it's composed of various members within the counties. It's composed of 2 members of the Board of Supervisors, 2 representatives from cities, and 2 special district representatives. In our county, we have 35 special districts. Those people will all be voting on who their special district rep is.
Why do you want to do this?
Why
do you find it interesting? I do, but I'm a nerd.
I was a LAFCO rep before for 6 years.
Okay.
And I think it's very interesting. It's just you get to vote and listen to and vote on very important things.
We think about in this county, recently LAFCO was heavily involved in the Paso Robles Water District.
Yes.
The voters will be presented with that question, but they really are issues that impact people's lives.
Yes.
Truly. And so any issues percolating now before LAFCO that you're aware of?
I don't know of any big ones, but it's possible that other special districts will be formed in the future, especially water districts.
Because of the groundwater regulation.
Because of the groundwater problems, yes.
His name is Ed Eby. He is a director with the Nipomo Community Services District. My name is Brad Pomerance on the Central Coast. This is Charter Local Edition. Good job.
Thank you.
Excellent job.